Interview number 2 of today. I'm very excited. This is my ensemble of the day. So I said we're a white piece, yeah. Plus leggings, that's what I am. And I'm just excited. So I'm going to meet him. One of my favorite artists, by the way. All right, hello guys. Welcome back to another episode of the Wunmi Bello show. I'm very excited today because I'm about to be speaking to one of my favorite artists of all time. I've been a big fan from the jump, so to be able to have this conversation today is a little bit crazy. I'm excited. Today we are speaking to none other than the superstar who has literally taken the world by storm. Fridayy, everybody.
Won't you stand by me? I just need a little more time with you. Promise that you'll stand by me. Oh, won't you stand by me? I just need a little more time. I just need a little more time with you.
How's your day been?
Good.
Yeah, what you up to?
Like 2 interviews.
Today?
Yeah. Just my 3rd one. In a good way. I'm good though. Yeah. I was at Take last night.
Oh yeah? Partying.
Yeah.
How was that?
Great.
How'd you
There's
find
a lot of
partying?
artists there. Burna Boy's there. No.
Did you go to Rema's? I'll be listening to it.
Yeah, I seen he had something. I ain't go though.
How do you find partying in London in comparison to America? Is there a difference?
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Way better.
Way better. You're the first American person. I'm being so dead serious. First American person to say that.
Really?
Yeah, that everybody always has like they're like, oh, London's a bit of a weird vibe, like club scene or party scene.
They probably go to wrong places.
You think so?
Yeah.
So maybe you need to like educate them and let them know.
Tape? Fine.
Tape?
Drip London. You ever been to Drip?
As in where they sell food?
I think they do
have
sell
food
food
there?
too. Yeah.
Nice. Is that Burner's place or something like that? Like,
Yeah, Burner was there like
Yeah.
two. That's where I met him at.
I love that. Okay, cool. So I before we get into any sort of conversation, I always like to play a little game called This or That. The idea was that we were going to have something where you'll be able to actually like listen to the little songs or the songs I'm about to like, play or talk about, but we don't. So what we're going to do is use our phone and just pretend as if like we've got a massive speaker in here and the vibes are amazing. Everybody, you guys with the program? Yeah, you can call back. You guys with the program?
Yeah.
All right, amazing. Great. All right, cool. So I've chosen these songs quite specifically and we're going to talk about, why I went for these songs. Cool. So the first one, and you have to basically pick between one song or the other. And I'm going to give you an explanation why. So the first song is between PND, Persian Rugs, which is like one of my favorite songs.
Yeah.
So let's play that one first.
Thought you was Persian love. Are we turning up? Are we wasting time? Girl, don't waste my time. You know I'm partying. I don't just wanna chill with you. Oh, no.
Okay, perfect. So that's like one of your
that's a good
favorite
song.
artists.
Yeah, for sure.
So that song versus The Weeknd, which is another one of your faves, Coming Down.
I'm gonna go Persian Rugs.
Oh, you don't even need to listen. You're like straight. Okay, so I hope this one's a little bit harder for you. So we've got Burna Boy, City Boys.
Yeah.
I recently saw a TikTok where you were basically saying like he's like one of your favorite artists right now.
Yeah.
And then versus Meek Mill featuring Rick Ross, I'm a Boss, which is like classic.
Damn, that's a hard one. I wouldn't lie, that's a hard one right there.
Do you need something to kind of like let's play each song. So we've got Burna Boy, City Boys. Yeah.
Don't need a shower, baby. I need a freak. Lick it like ice cream, as if you mean to be disgusting.
Yeah, I'm gonna go City Boys.
City Boys?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, just cause that song give me the vibe. Make me feel good.
I hear you saying. All right, next one. And this one, I hope this one's hard for you, but this is like your pivotal song versus another song that I'm guessing but matters to you. So this one is God Did versus Baddest in the Room. What are we picking?
Depends on how I'm feeling. I gotta go God Did. That'll change my life.
Amen.
Can't go against that.
I hear you. That was like an incredible song. Do you still think back to the moment where you realized that the song was going to change your life?
Yeah.
What was the thought process?
Like when it was coming out?
No, like when you in these kind of moments when you think about that, when you have those thoughts, is it still a matter of like, oh my gosh, that this really happened?
Yeah, it was written. It's like I think about it when I think of like the details and the timing and everything. It was written like perfect timing, placed together by God. Yeah.
I hear that. Interestingly, when I was like planning this conversation, I always like to try and find something that I resonate with the most with whoever I'm talking to. And yours, it kind of took a second for it to like click.
Yeah.
Because I've been a fan of yours from the very beginning. We were actually having a conversation earlier, and I was like, no, I feel like I was like an OG. And she was like, if you're an OG follower, an OG fan, I know this is what she asked me, and I couldn't say which one. I couldn't say like an original. She was like, what did you ask me? I think you said you.
That's not like beginning, but like
yeah. And so she was like, that's not really like a. And I was like, oh, okay, so maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm just
you
a liar.
You might know one though.
Okay, go on, tell me.
That's what you got to tell me. You might know one though.
I don't think so.
All right. You don't know Blessings?
Yeah, but I don't consider that. That isn't to me
that's
OG.
That's like OG time.
I mean, that means I'm definitely an OG.
Yeah, you're OG.
Amen.
Like, yeah.
But like,
I only got two projects.
True.
Like after God did, I dropped like an EP. That was with Blessings, Shake, Don't Give Up on Me. Then the album.
It's so crazy because I think maybe the reason why I even started thinking that I'm an OG is because when you think of that track, that timeline is very, very, very quick.
Yeah.
That in my mind, I'm thinking it's kind of, you'll think about like other artists who came into the game that they will have like previous songs before that. You didn't have that. So in my mind, I was like, am I really like I think I really am.
You OG.
But I was thinking, okay, so what is the thing? And I realized that, with your story, that the thing with you is that you've always like from the beginning, always known and been very clear that like, you are going to be this person that you are today. Like you've always known. And I relate that back to like, even in my story, like just being very young and falling in love with like presenting, with journalism, with like talking to people and knowing that at some point in my journey, like this is going to be it, like no matter what. So I want to talk to that version of you and kind of go back. When was like the moment where you were like, this is the path I'm going to take?
I always like had it in me, like been talented since a kid, like leading choirs and stuff like that, playing a lot of instruments in church. So I always knew like I was kind of like not a regular kid with the talent that God gave me. But I would say like when I knew I was going to take it serious, probably like, I've been taking it serious since I like started, I ain't gonna lie. But I never knew like, how can I explain? I got in the studio, right, when I was like 14. That's when I got in. Ever since then, I've been in love with it, like trying to make beats every day. You know what I'm saying? Making beats before school, you know what I'm saying? After school. So like, I've been consistent like 10 years since a kid. But I would say like, when I was like, I'm going full on with it, it's probably like after college. Like after I like dropped out college.
Why was it at that point?
Cause like at that point, like you become like, I'm like a grown man and I'm like 20, 21, 22. And it's like what I'm about to do in my life. At that moment, I'm like, all right, I'm going 100%. Like it don't matter like whatever happened, I'm rocking out.
I know one of the things that you always mention is just about, how your parents perceived that and you wanted to go into music and, everything about that. Yes, it was supportive, but like in the back of their mind, it's like, no, you have to go to school. I think for a lot of people, that's always, especially Black people, like that's always like a common thread in all of our lives where our parents are like, nah, doctor, this. When you now get to a point where, you have gone against the grain, how do you not allow yourself to like look back at like what your parents are saying and allow that to influence you actually like following that dream? Like how do you allow yourself to like, stay in that lane and go against like everything that they're essentially saying?
Yeah, you kind of like gotta really go against it because I don't know, like doing music and like chasing your dreams, it's like you can't have one foot in and one foot out. I don't think so. It's only gonna work unless you like put both feet in. You know what I'm saying? So it's like kind of gotta go against everything that you're doing and just focus on. My dad's like a smart guy. He always forced us college. My older brothers graduated, 3 of my brothers, but I was never like a book guy. Like I couldn't even see myself graduating, bro. Like, I hate school so much. But they knew, they understood my heart, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But they was patient with me too. That I think my mom being so patient with me too, because it's been years. Like I'm not paying no bills.
Yeah.
I'm just in my room making music. So it's like they sacrificed a lot for me too, so I could chase my dreams.
I want to kind of talk about that side of you, just talking about your upbringing, like the actual home. You know, you being Asian. Like I want to know what that was like in the household and how different being you're in, you know, the American environment, but then your house, I'm sure like the culture, there was a culture difference. Like if you go to school and you're hearing about some of your friends' experiences, it might be a little bit different from like your experience at home. Was there like a one particular difference that you realized between yours and your friends?
It was growing up Haitian. It's similar to Africans. Like it's completely different. Like I don't know like what a sleepover is. Like I never did that a day in my life. If I go up to my mom and ask her that, she'll probably like smack the shit out of me. Like you sleeping at whose house? You know what I'm saying? So it's like little stuff like that. And American parents is different. It's like we more strict. They more strict on us. You know what I'm saying? They want to know where we at all times. You know what I'm saying? It's just a different thing. I'll say.
How did your background influence your music? I think there was what song was it? Is it
Came Too Far? I think.
No, Done For Me.
Done For Me.
Yeah. I remember like hearing that. At first I was like, wait, are you speaking in tongues or are you like speaking? And it was so beautiful. And I feel like that's one thing that you always kind of mesh into your music. You bring in your culture a lot in little ways and subtle ways, but also in quite bold ways as well. So I want to know how much of an influence does your culture have on your music?
It has a lot of influence, you know what I'm saying? Growing up like Haitian, just Caribbean period. It's like I feel like it's the most felt music, you know what I'm saying? Even though I don't even think we got like the best singers, like vocally. I think American people like got the best singers.
But it's just American people?
Yeah.
More than Africans?
Yeah, for sure.
Who?
I'm talking about like the
vocalists.
Yeah, like Whitney Houston, like Beyonce.
Okay,
like,
you know, I feel you.
You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about like them people that could do anything they want to do. You know, Aretha Franklin. But I will say though, Caribbean people, like, it's not even about the singing ability. It's about how to make you feel when they singing. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I learned growing up, like how to use my voice, and every time I sing, how somebody gonna feel it. So that's where I got like, I say like growing up Haitian, I learned that a lot in music.
For you to convey a feeling out of your music.
Yeah, for sure. Because sometimes it's not about like, you don't gotta do too much. It's just how can I make somebody feel by singing this song? That's
one thing I actually read up about and you spoke about, and I don't know where you spoke about it, but it's interesting because I think that's maybe why I was so, I want to call it addicted. Like I was so automatically addicted to your music because there was always a message, even if it was like a, you know, super happy song. At the back of it, it felt like you were always trying to like hit a message. Has that always been like an intentional thing for you?
Yes. Since I like, not always, I kind of like grew into it. I'm happy I grew into it like before I got in the industry. I'd probably say like 2018, 2019 is when I like started writing, like being able to write about like life experiences instead of like
just anything.
Yeah, anything. Yeah. Like, I used to just make R&B songs probably before 2019. Then like 2019, I started to learn like I can write about God, I can write about my family struggles and all that. Like, you know what I'm saying? What
led to that realization? Was there like a moment or something, a situation that occurred that kind of made you realize that?
Yeah, it was like probably like I say the story a lot. I remember like I had like a girl at a studio, and like I was playing her like some songs, and she was just telling me like how it don't sound like me, like how I talk. Yeah, it was like how I was writing it. It wasn't like. So when she told me that, I just started like to focus on like how do I put my everything that I say, the real me, in my music. You know what I'm saying? Don't focus on the writing, just focus like. Talk it and sing it. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like even just in any career, that always seems to be like a challenge, like allowing your fullness.
Yeah.
You know, there's some people who are really passionate about God and that is, you know, just who they are. And then there's someone who is really passionate about X, Y, Z, but because of, I guess, wanting to like fit into a certain box or thinking that there's only like one path or one way of doing this, you might want to like alter yourself. Yeah. Was that quite an easy thing? Like after this girl said this, was it quite easy for you to be very accepting that, you know what, I'm just going to do this? Or did you have moments like hiccups where you had to like learn how to become yourself?
Yeah, it really come with time. You know what I'm saying? That's why like everybody that's doing something, like you should really like put a lot of time into it. It really take years to really like find yourself. And then once you do though, it's the best part because you really separate yourself from everybody. Like it's nobody that's in your way for real. Nobody in your lane. Once you find out your voice and what you want to say, and how you want to be portrayed, you in really a lane by yourself. You get what I'm saying?
What kind of work did you have to do? Because I want to just talking more like specifically, right? Was there certain things? Because I think I also asked this because you're 26, right?
Yeah, I'm 20. I just turned 27.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I think this is kind of like the age where, you know, the forming of like your identity becomes like a real thing where you're like, you know, you're either accepting or you're not accepting. So I wonder if there was like practical work that you had to do that really allowed you to make that switch. Because I think that is what separates you quite hugely.
Yeah. It's a lot of different things that like go into that. I'm not gonna lie. It's like time, and it's like being comfortable too in your skin. Like that take time too, and it's also like not caring, like fuck what they think too.
Literally.
That's like the biggest part of you developing and like being in your own lane. I'll say like come with them three, like not worried about what people think. Accepting yourself and being comfortable in your skin, like unapologetic. I don't know how to say that word. Yeah, for sure. But it's just, that's it's like, and I seen it work for other people. Like for my favorite artists, I'm like, why do I love them so much? It's because it's for that reason. You know what I'm saying? It's like Party Next Door. It's like Tory Lanez. It's like
they're very specific, very niche,
very different. And they created their own sound and they created like their own lane. So it's like as I'm watching them, I'm watching like Rod Wave. I'm like, damn, why are these my favorite artists? For that reason. So I was like, I could do this too. I just gotta put it in my way.
I love that. And I think that's the interesting thing about your music. It's also listening to your first EP, especially for me, it was like there was like a variety of sounds. There was some that felt very deep and like gospel led, and then there's like then you have something a little bit more on the other side of the spectrum. So I know you're working on, you know, your new projects, and your recent song just came out. You've got 3 songs now, I realized. It just came out this year. Baddest in the Room, Without You, and then the most recent one with Will Smith. Which obsessed, by the way. So talk to me. I want to know talk to me through the process of writing Baddest in the Room, creating that song.
Just timing wise, I knew summer was coming up, so I'm like, I was trying to like make something for the summer. I'm not gonna lie. I was in my house. I just went into the basement, picked up a guitar, and just laid down an idea. I ain't gonna lie. And then I wrote it with like some of my friends.
And then that was
it. That was it.
Are you gonna have a music video for that song?
For sure. Trying to figure that out right
now. Oh baby, bring it closer. I know just what to do. Say you're the baddest in the room. The baddest in the room. Yeah. The way that you move, I'm focused on you.
You're working with stars. Like I only just realized I didn't actually know this came out until when I was like preparing for the conversation. The song with Will Smith. Incredible song. How does it? How does that kind of conversation? How does that kind of collaboration come to life?
That was different because I did that hook like 4 years ago. I had that hook like in 2020, and then like and Will Smith heard it this year. You know what I'm saying? Just as soon as he heard it, he just started rapping on it and added like the choir on it. Did
you know that you wanted Will Smith on that song?
No, I knew. Somebody texted me, was like, Will Smith jumped on that hook, and I was like, but I was excited.
How does that work in the music industry? Do people just like hear little different things that people create and then?
Yeah, it's like relationships. Like say he probably was in the studio with like the producer I'm cool with.
Oh, okay.
And probably played him the hook. And was like, all right, let me get on this.
Sick. Yeah. So did you get to meet him like in that creation process?
Nah, I ain't meet him yet. For sure.
Is that something that's going to come to life?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'm sure we're gonna meet up, probably shoot a video, do something.
Yeah. I think it's a must. I think one of my favorite songs from you, I remember I was at your London show.
Really?
Yeah. Oh,
that was crazy. Which night? What you doing?
I was at the first night. Was it the first night?
Yeah.
First night. It was the first. No.
I had orange on.
It was the first night anyway. I don't remember what you were wearing, but it was. I remember the room was just
that was
crazy. And I think it was a few days later that you made the announcement about your dad's passing, which I'm so sorry to hear. I think one of the most interesting thing about you is, and I love and I appreciate so much, is your ability to like share every layer and every element of your story.
Yeah.
And you do that not just like you do it through your music, but then you also have a way to do it through social media. And I don't know if that's like an intentional thing that you like plan. But I remember just reading the caption and just wondering like, wow, this is incredible, because you did that Paris show, didn't you? How was that for you? Because reading the caption, I remember I had to go back to it again today just to know how I wanted to like even navigate this part of the conversation. Because to me, I was like, wow, the fact that in your mind you're like, I know that my dad would have wanted me to do this show.
Yeah.
Talk to me about that thought process for you.
That was probably like that was the craziest moment probably in my life. I ain't gonna lie, but I know I had to like keep going. You know what I'm saying? If you people that know my dad. No, you know what I'm saying? I know he wouldn't want me to go back home because he passed, you know what I'm saying? He would want me to like take care of the business because that's the type of man he was. He take care of business and making sure everything right, you know what I'm saying? So that's why I kept going with the tour, you know what I'm saying? And I'll figure the rest out when I get home. That was like a crazy moment though. It was like bittersweet. Like my first tour, you know what I'm saying? But there's plenty of signs that came with it.
What do you mean?
I feel like the timing wise, it was just like, you know what I'm saying? He saw me like Bob take care of the family. He saw me buy him a house. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like it's just timing. Like God didn't want him to. I feel like sometimes like it gets so crazy on earth. Like God just take the people away like the most peaceful way. You know what I'm saying? Like I ain't want to see my dad struggle like the way he was. Yeah. He was struggling. So like I feel like God just give him peace. It gave me peace too, knowing that he's in a better place.
I hate you. I can only imagine the way that kind of thing would shift your perception or like or just even evolve the family. Yeah. Is that something that took place?
What you mean by that?
In the sense that, so my little brother, I remember like when we were really, 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 really young and when he lost his mum and his dad actually, and I remember how that shifted him and the way that he perceived people. Yeah. Right. Obviously he's a lot younger, so I guess his way of looking at life then would be a lot different. But I remember like it really made him change his whole demeanor, his whole character. Like he just kind of became a different person, right? Yeah. Obviously you're a lot older and I think you've had a lot of life experiences, and the way even just now you explaining that you know that there was like a deeper meaning to it, and you know that it was almost God like giving him grace in terms of, you know, just his whole overall like life experience, right? Yeah. I just wonder how you losing your dad at that time, how it's evolved you, and also the way it's evolved your perception of family.
It didn't probably evolve me. It just probably like I don't take a lot of stuff for granted, probably like how I was before, like, you know what I'm saying? Say I go back home, like I hug my mom a little longer and all that. Like just enjoy the time that we have now, because you'll never know it tomorrow. Like that's what it really showed me. Like, and it definitely brought the family closer too.
In what way?
Just, you know what I'm saying? Just knowing like tomorrow not a promise. That's the main part about it. You know what I'm saying? So it's making me go harder every day too, because I know I'm taking care of family.
Is that a difference would you say that's a difference that your siblings and your mum have seen in you? That sense of like going even harder? Because I feel like you've always gone hard. So I wonder what it looks like to go even harder than you've been going before.
Yeah, it's just, I think it's like a mindset, just knowing then, like, I gotta take care of the family for my dad. You know what I'm saying? It's just a mindset. I'm always go hard.
One thing I find really interesting about you, because I think you were like this like from the offset, and like I said, social media, like I feel like you make your social media very easy to understand you in a way that I think, you know, many people like struggle with. And one of the things that you were very open about and still are very open about is, you know, the importance of God on your journey. And I think I just had a conversation earlier actually with an artist who's kind of gone from he was in I was just going to call it boy band, but I guess you can call it that, but I'm sure that's not really the right phrasing. But he was in a group before, and now he's kind of gone solo, and he's now pivoted into like more gospel music. And the conversation we're having earlier was just about God and, you know, his understanding and how much like it's shifted him and changed him. And I want to kind of ask you, because I haven't really heard you talk about this. I want to ask you what gives you the confidence to be so, in a world where, you know, people aren't really like the most comfortable with kind of sharing that side of their lives, what gives you the confidence and the conviction to be so open about yours and your journey?
It's easy, you know. It's easy for me because I know like that's why I'm here. Like how my life was set up is only like God could put it in, like how it happened. Like even what God did, being my first song as an artist is like, it's really God. Like, you know what I'm saying? A song called God Did. It's like everything that happened is just God. So I kind of like put it in every caption. You know, it's hard for me to even write something or like say it without giving him like the praise. You know what I'm saying? But the way I do it though is still like, I could even dive deeper into it more. But like, even when you listen to my music, it's just I try to put the messages in there. Everybody believe in something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not even pushing like a gospel. It's more about the message. You know what I'm saying? And I put it in a way where like anybody could relate to. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's people like in jail that they get through. They did with my music. You know what I'm saying? Like people that's dying every day. That's how I look at it. Like when I put it in the music, like people need it. Like if you see my DMs, they need it. Yeah, for sure.
What kind of messages do you find in your DMs?
Like people want to kill themselves. You know what I'm saying? People locked up in jail. People losing their parent. The song Without You is just like, so it's like, I know me, I'm so much of a like chill guy.
Yeah.
I don't really talk much. So it's like the best way I really can express everything is in the music. You know what I'm saying? So that's where I could really express myself in my art. So I don't hold back. You
kind of seem like the kind of person who will kind of be quiet in a room and absorb everything.
Yeah.
And then just use that thing that you've absorbed and put it into the music.
Yeah.
I was having a conversation this morning with my partner. Actually, his parents are pastors, right?
Yeah.
And it's only been like this year that he's found like his personal conviction, even though he's been in this for his whole life. Like he's always had to read the Bible, blah, 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 but he's never really had like a personal conviction. I think, not to say that you have a similar story or anything, but obviously was it your dad's a pastor?
Yeah.
Did you have a similar setup where like there was a moment for you where you were able to say, no, I know this for myself. This isn't something that was, this isn't something that I was forced to learn. This is something that I know.
Yeah. It's like, because when you grow up in it, it's really like, you grew up in church?
I didn't. I grew up in like a Muslim household,
sure.
like, yeah.
But even like Muslims too. Like when you grow up in something, it just become routine. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I see where he was coming from. Like, when you grow up in something, it's just something you see every day. It's like routine until you really have like a personal, something in your life really happen or somebody speak to you. Like God really speak to you in the moment. You're like, damn, it's really real. Like I know he with me. It take like those moments where it's just you and God.
Is that
instead of just seeing it growing up in it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I feel you. Is there a moment for you where you were like,
there's been many moments.
This one, I can, because I feel like it's so important to also have that memory in the back of your mind, because like life happens and you're thinking, you might be questioning, you might be doubting, but then you have those like certain memories that you're like,
there's been so many moments. I could name like 10. Like, yeah, like.
Give me the first one that came to your mind when I asked that.
There's a lot of moments like when I was a kid, like people would come to me like, yo, whatever you put your hands on, you're gonna be able to do. And I'm really like that type of person. Like anything I put my hands on, it's with basketball, I feel like I can do if I love it. You know what I'm saying? And even like before, I remember like a year before I signed my first deal, somebody came up to me and was like, yo, God gave me a word for you. You about to go in the industry and work for all these artists. Just don't forget who brought you in. You're not doing nothing wrong. Just don't forget who brought you in the door. I swear to God, everything I love. That was like a year before I signed my first deal. Yeah.
Did that change anything for you?
It's just the knowing. I'm like, damn. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't really hear those type of messages. You hear like regular stuff. Like, you know what I'm saying? But like that message was like, oh, all right. And the boy that told me that too, I DM'd him right after. Like God did came out. I was like, I remember you told me this, bro. Wow. And he remembered too.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
That is something that I was saying, it's one of those memories that you like keep in the back of your mind to remind you like, I'm supposed to be doing this. And I guess that's also going to be one of the reasons why you'll always remember to give that glory back.
For sure.
And that's why I even wanted to ask you about like maintaining the faith. I think, faith is one of those things that it's like it feels like it's like a turbulence. It has moments, right? And I find that people, when they're in a situation where, like, things are going bad, everything's going wrong, it's when it's the easiest to be like, I believe in God, like I have faith. And I was having a similar conversation with a rapper from the UK, actually, his name's K-Trap. And he was saying that he was like, he knew his faith was real when he had success, yet he was still searching, yet he was still like, my faith, like above all else. So I want to ask you, in this position that you're in now, like, you've got like all the biggest names in the world attached, like loving your music, but you've got the whole world backing you, telling you how much they love you, praising you, giving you all the admiration, everything you need. Is it easy for you still in this phase to allow yourself to like remain humble in your faith?
It was easy for me.
Talk to me about
Very easy. Because it's like, I don't feel like, once it become hard, it's like, just like I said, like, I feel like people forget the reason they got in the room. You know what I'm saying? Once you forget that, that's when you start losing yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm the same person I was 5 years ago. Like, I wake up, pray, go to the studio, gym, come back to the home. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't really let none of this change me. So it's like, I still got like a clear mind. Yeah.
I love that. I want to talk about some of the stuff that you've got coming up.
Yeah.
You did the Week of Wireless performance. Yeah. How was that for you? How was that experience?
It was amazing.
Yeah. How you find the London crowd?
I love London crowd.
The London crowd really, really freaking love you.
Yeah, I know. That's like second home.
I mean, it makes sense. Like I said, that London show was crazy. In terms of the projects that you've got coming up in the near future, I don't know if it's an album, I don't know if it's another EP that we're going to get. Is there anything you can tell us about the future prospects for Fridayy?
Yeah, just trying. Well, I think I showed my fans that there's nothing I can't do for, like, I could do like a pop song. I could do Afro beats, real R&B. Yeah, it's nothing I can't do, but just show more of that more. Like, and like, this album, I'm like focusing on like what I want to say, you know what I'm saying? Message wise, and like point in my life where I'm at right now. Like, I want to make sure I say everything, how I feel. That's what I'm putting in the album right now.
Is that because I think with the songs that you've released, like in this year anyway, they're quite different, right? You've got Without You, a completely different kind of song, and then you've got Baddest in the Room, a completely different type of song, and then also your recent song with Will Smith, again, very different vibe. Is that what we're going to get in this new project that you're working on, in terms of you being able to like show the various layers?
Yeah, for sure. It's a lot of sides of me. I like having a good time, like partying, I like real R&B music, and I like, you know what I'm saying? I like the inspirational music too, so that's what, like, my projects, I try to bring every side of me, you know what I'm saying, in the album. I don't want to leave nothing behind. Yeah.
It's so funny that you say that, because I think before, in previous times, and I think obviously with our generation, it's definitely like changing quite a lot. It's always been just sticking to like one niche, like this is your sound. Like, and I think you completely, you are so on the opposite side of that. Is that intentional?
Yes, that is intentional, because I feel like that's why people get bored, you know what I'm saying? Me as a fan of artists, I feel like when people keep doing the same thing, you kind of get bored. Like, that's why I like Drake so much. Where it's like he's able to, like, I'm doing like, you know what I'm saying, Honestly Never Mind, like the Jersey club type of album. Then he do his R&B, then he start rapping. So I learned from him, like, you can never really get bored of Drake because you never know where he's gonna come from. So that's how I do it, and my fans appreciate that too. But it is like some outside people that just know me by God did it when it comes to you, so they don't even know everything I'm capable of doing. My real fans know though.
No, I feel you. Yeah. I'm excited. I feel like the Afrobeat side of you is definitely a side that I enjoy. I remember even looking at the comment section of the video of Burna Boy and you. If you notice, like in the comment section, people were just like, we need you in like an Afrobeat song. We need you in more Afrobeat song. Yeah. Is that something we'll be seeing more of?
For sure. Yeah, I got songs out of Calling Gold, Firewood.
Oh.
My last album, that's like easy for me. That's like, I love that music.
And when should we be expecting this new project?
Probably like fall, winter.
I'm excited. I'm very excited. Now, before we close things off, one thing I like to do with my guests is I have a game called the Bello box, which is basically in the box is some sort of surprise. We don't have it in here right now because we're not in my usual setup, my usual studio, but we'll pretend. I'm just going to grab the box and just pretend it's over here. So you're in London, you know, you're Asian, and I was like, I want to bring you your culture to some respect. I hope it's here. I'm not just saying this for the sake of it, but basically, I know there's only one Asian restaurant in London.
For real?
Yeah. I've never tasted Asian food before.
You never tasted it?
I've never tasted it before. So we're going to try it today because we got some for you.
I can't vouch for this restaurant, though.
You can't, but you can vouch for your food, right?
If it's nasty, I can vouch for my food. But it's certain
thing.
You gotta be the right hands.
I mean, it's the only one in London, which is kind of insane.
Yeah, it might be good.
Okay, cool. Is it here? Do we have it?
I'm excited.